Hi friends, your ultimate movies guide here. Welcome to my channel. Today the movie I am going to explain is KGF, an action drama thriller. A very good movie to watch. Before we start our movie, an important announcement for my audience. This video contains spoilers, so take care guys, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Without any further delay, let's get back to our movie. Film starts with a scene in which Prime Minister issued a death warrant and enforced army against the biggest criminal in the history. She also ordered that no one should ever know or write about this person. A very famous and senior journalist book titled El Dorado, that detailed the events at the Kohler gold fields between 1951 and 2018, was banned by the government, and all published copies were burned without leaving a clue to the public. However, a television news channel produces a copy of that book and calls the writer for an interview. They kept this interview as a secret so no one knows about it. He narrates that in the southern part of India's Mysore state, in present-day Kolar district, Karnataka, in 1951 farmers were digging a well there and accidentally identify some weird stone. Upon knowing this, Suryawardhan along with commissioned government officials came for inspection and discovered ore of gold. Rocky was also born on the day of the discovery in the Mysore region. To a poor and widowed woman, Suryawardhan, a local don who accompanied the officials, killed them all and didn't let a particle of dust outside. He then deceitfully sets up a company in that land and named it Narachi. He then takes this land on lease for 99 years, under the pretext of mining limestone. To keep this a secret, he forcefully took people from different parts of the country and forced them to work in the mine. He had 5 associates. They are the pillars of KGF, and with them KGF is strong and safe. All of these associates were operated away from KGF. Kamal, the son of a former associate Bhargav, who is responsible for processing gold. Andrews looks after West Coast, and Rajendra Desai oversees distribution of gold to different parts of the country. Guru Pandian, a powerful politician and president of the DYSS party. Suryawardhan uses his political power to be in national politics, and then controlling the whole national politics. And his trustworthy brother Adira also stood by him. Later on, his son Garuda also joins the league. Each of them had their eyes on the gold mine when Suryawardhan gets heart attack and paralyzed after. Rocky, who was born in a very poor family, his mother was widowed. She died in a younger age due to cancer. They don't have resources for treatment. Before her death, she has nothing to left for his son but her last words. She takes promise from his son to be the richest and the powerful man. Powerful people comes from powerful places. With this in his mind, Rocky arrives in Bombay as a 10-year-old, on a quest for power and wealth as desired by his dying mother. Bombay, a local don who seems to be the king of the city, got his eyes on Rocky when he beats a police officer. After then, he begins to work for Shetty. Years later, he becomes Shetty's right-hand man and oversees gold bars' arrival from Africa to the Bombay coast with an iron fist. Shetty, who works for Andrews, is a gold smuggler in Bombay, the city on which another rival smuggler Dubai based, Inahat Khalil's eyes were also set on. Another local don, Dilaver, who works for Inahat Khalil, ready to take over the city, and Shetty about to lose the control over city. Then Rocky intervenes and takes back the control. Rocky soon rises in strength and power, rivaling that of Shetty's. This attracts the attention of Andrews, who offers him Bombay in return for assassinating Garuda, the elder son of Suryawardhan, who is to inherit KGF after his father's passing. Rocky accepts the offer and heads to Bangalore, where a political event is staged for the purpose. Rocky plans the whole episode and takes his measure, He also falls in love with a girl who is the daughter of Rajendra Desai. When Rocky was roaming in the city, he saw trucks in police protection, the same which are supposed to be on Bombay port. So he went on to a search and manages to get into the truck, and came to know that these boxes contain gold and the same seal as were the boxes in Bombay. So he came to a conclusion that this gold is coming from another source to Bangalore, that wasn't passing through his Mumbai port, and then he understands the level of business happening through KGF. On the day of political event, once there, he witnesses the sheer presence, authority, and ultimate power of Garuda. He was failed to kill him there. Although he had a chance to do so, everyone thinks that Rocky has failed to kill Garuda, and now Garuda will kill them all, sparing no one. The only to prevent this from happening is to kill Garuda in his place, which is a hell of its kind. Rocky say he will go there in KGF, and will kill Garuda, and won't go without finishing the job. Rocky then makes up his way to KGF. He is then given instructions, and half blueprint to enter in KGF, and other half is in KGF maintenance room, which he has to find by himself. Rocky had a main aim of finding the only hidden subway under one of the watchtowers that directly leads to Garuda's place from Narachi. He was told to give them a signal when he feels ready and then kill Garuda. Rocky makes plan to enter a region where peoples are picked to work in Narachi. By evading a unit of henchmen, he killed them all, and eventually gets picked up to KGF. He then soon arrives in KGF, where he gets to know the situation of people in KGF. He finds it hell for the people who are forced to work there. There are almost 20,000 slaves, and 400 guards in different regions of the KGF are on them to supervise. Girl children were killed as soon as they are born by the people working in KGF, to avoid any kind of assault by the guards. He witnesses the brutality that the slaves are subjected to. Rocky gets emotionally disturbed by the situation of people and violence in KGF. It reminds him of the difficulties faced by his mother to bring him up. He is moved by an incident which involves a cold-blooded killing of a mother and son at the hands of an overseer. The boy accidentally crossed white line while playing, which was strictly prohibited for anyone to cross. Rocky takes his way to maintenance room, where he gets the map and identifies the tunnel to palace during his shift, and narrowly escaping the clutches of death. By the sacrifice of a fellow slave to save the life of his wife and unborn child, Andrews and Desai were misinformed that Rocky was killed. Rocky engages in a fight with a unit of 23 overseers, killing each one of them to save a blind slave. With the act, Rocky emerges as a hero and hope for slaves. Rocky later orders to burn the 23 men as a signal that he is ready to kill Garuda, as decided. An alerted Vanaram, who notices the fire, now informs Garuda of the missing 23 overseers. The suspicious fire sends jeeps of his hitmen along with Garuda toward the mines from Garuda's residence. To immediately avert the hitmen from arriving in the mines and finding the slaves burning the overseers, Garuda's younger brother kills father Suryawar, suffocating him to death. Realizing the bad turn of events recently, Garuda orders goddess ritual to be preponed from the following week to the very next day. After that, he would kill his father's allies and his every single enemy as soon the ritual would be complete. The next day at the mines, Rocky seizes the opportunity, conspires, and unsuspectingly heads through a tunnel to the site of ritual where slaves were brought as an offerings to the god. Simultaneously, Vanaram discovers the body of third slave. Realization dawns on him that an impostor who plans to kill Garuda has taken his place. Vanaram rushes towards the site of the sacrifice, but is too late. Upon Garuda's return to the site and sacrifice of 2 slaves, a concealed Rocky emerges and beheads him. The narrator concludes that Rocky intentionally chose not to kill Garuda in Bangalore party office, but in KGF, thereby inspiring an army of slaves to seize KGF. However, the narrator indicates that this is just the beginning. The news of Garuda's murder passes wide and far across the country. As Vanaram orders his men to attack Rocky, a gunshot is fired, and the movie cuts to black. In the mid-credits, it is shown to be continued.